Hello everyone, welcome back to Magic the Gathering Arena here. I'm going to start, today is the Thursday's open beta, and so we've just had a wipe, and so I've lost all my cards in my collection, and this is going to be, supposedly, it's going to be the last time we've ever get a collection wipe, and so not even on regular release. It's open beta, everyone has access to Arena, and so we'll get started on getting rebuilding our collection basically. And so with the new arena, it is opening with the release of Guilds of Ravnica set that's coming out actually tonight at midnight as a pre-release, and then the set will actually release next Thursday. So right now we've played through the intro just to get all through that. So we're going to start playing some things. So once we actually get through the intro, these are the 5 decks that we get. So I'm going to leave these unedited, and then I'll go ahead and create copies of everything that I need whenever, like just if I wanted to make an extra spin or like upgrades to these, I'll copy it, which is really nice. So you can take this here and then clone it. So Graveyard Bash 2, so I can change this to mono black aggro or such, something like that. It can be like this one here, clone. I'm going to do mono red burn. Let's just make something up like that, and then just get to the overview of all the arena stuff here. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this one. So usually you can double click, and yeah, so it still works like that. So right here it says you can drag a card to this area to change the deck image. So if you wanted to, like, say make this a zombies theme, so I mean that's pretty nice. But let's say you want to have a rare, or just for some reason have Yargle as your creature, as the image right here, so you can change it right there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave Open the Graves as the image for the deck. And so with this deck here, we start off with two Diagraph Ghouls, 2 Skullduggeries, 3 Doom Dissenters, 3 Walking Corpses, 2 Death Barons. These are actually pretty good. 3 Death Broom Thalids, 2 Hired Blades, 3 Murders. Murder's really good. 2 Gravediggers, blah, blah, blah. So basically we get a set of cards to just start out with, and this is our rare for this. It's a decent rare, but everyone has to restart, so there's really no sideboard cards. So as you can see, the collection is pretty plain right now. Not very many cards, so I cannot scroll to actually a blue thing. I don't like this layout on MTGO. This layout, you can actually see a whole bunch more because the cards are smaller. But I don't like how big these are, and this is a little bit better right here. You can actually see what you're doing, but it does auto arrange things like this, and you can move things onto another point and just rearrange them like that, and then scroll side to side for that. So this part of the thing I like, it's sort of like MTGO, but this arrangement is not that great. So if you start out here, everyone starts out with the same amount. You have 4 mythic wild cards, 6 rare wild cards, 12 uncommon, or sorry, my bad, that's actually this. Everyone starts off with 1 mythic wild card, 2 rare wild cards, 4 uncommon wild cards, and 8 common wild cards. So basically what you can do is, if you don't know how to get cards you don't own, so you go here to go filter things. So if you were going to search like this, so you can see it's highlighted as collected. So it's only going to show the cards that you've collected here. So what you want to do is go to the not collected here, and so you can see there's a whole bunch of grayed out images for all the cards we haven't collected yet. So you can exchange whatever you have right here, whatever currency you have for these cards, you can exchange it. So if I wanted a nice grace, I would have to exchange 1 uncommon wild card for this right here. And so I'm not going to mess with any of that right now. I'm still trying to brew decks for the new standard coming up for Guilds of Ravnica, and so I'll just wait a little bit. Mono black aggro, I'm not sure if that'll be good for once rotation hits. So I'm going to actually play the decks as is here. I've already got 1 game played through. That's just part of the actually after tutorials, so to speak. So it says here, cast 20 black or red spells. These are requests. So once you complete this quest for the week, you'll get that much gold. So each day there's a new quest, and then you can only have 3 quests at a time. Yeah, so that's what it says. And then if weekly wins, so there's up to 15 weekly wins. So you'll get every 5 wins, so 5, 10, and 15, you'll get a pack. And here you'll get the new Guilds of Ravnica pack, so you can start opening up new cards in the Guilds of Ravnica. This is resets daily, so I mean you get a little bit prizes for every win you do. So it's just small incremental things. So you get gold, or you might get the card. But anyways, let's actually get on with the quest. So I'm going to go ahead and play Dragon's Fire to help get a quest done. There was also earlier, if you didn't see, it says play 5 lands. That's sort of a weird daily quest kind of thing. It's random. You can play 5 lands, play 20 lands, or something like that. Not as, I guess it's an extra way of you to earn extra currency, gold coins, and or cards or packs. All right, so this here is 4 mountains, a shock, Dragon Rider, and volcanic dragon. So this seems okay, not too bad. Everyone's gonna be on a level playing field right now. But once open beta gets further along, everyone's going to have a lot more different cards and stuff. So as right now, I'm going to be playing as a free-to-play. I'll be grinding for all my cards right here. So I'll just play that. I'm not going to play the shock this turn, so I'm going to go ahead and pass the turn. I'm going to leave up this for the shock. I don't need to actually use it on anything because, ooh, also red. Probably the same kind of hand that I drew up. So I'm going to just run out this Dragon Rider, so it gets flying whenever I control another dragon. So if I'm able to get another dragon out, I can give this will gain flying, and then I can fly over. Okay, so Shino Pyromancer. This is a really great card. You know, just it's a body. It comes in as a 2/1. It also deals a shock to a player. Yeah, any player, right? Target planeswalker or planeswalker. And so here I'm going to throw this down as a haster, so that's going to be pretty nice. I could have done a shock to one of these, but I just getting more damage. But I mean, a 3/1 is going to die anyway, so it's not okay. So he's going to do that. So I can use my shock like that. Perhaps I should have just attacked with it. So, but this turn here, I can actually hold up mana for the shock. Because it's an instant, and I can cast it on their turn, like the tutorial, one of the tutorials I said. Alright, so that's another one. So I'm actually playing against a human player right here, so I'm about to take a lot of damage here, and he's going to attack in, and I'm going to go ahead and shock one of them. I'd rather save myself 3 life than deal 2 damage to their face. So I'm going to be getting a lot. So this is going to be great. The Demanding Dragon is insane right here, and I can follow up with another dragon right there. So I'm going to play this. So they have to sacrifice the creature or take 5 damage, and that's going to be really, really good. This will block this. And if they want to take 5 damage, that's great for me. If they want to sacrifice this, that's great for me. I'm saving myself. Yes, just like that, just like that. Alright, so I'm going to keep attacking with this. Now it has flying, so this is a dragon. And this is a solid body, you know, 5-drop, 5/5 flyer. That's incredible stats right there. And in the new set, there's a in black. It's called Bone Whisperer or something like that. It's double black and 3 of any other color, of any mana, and it's a 6/6 flyer with trample as well. And that's gonna be really important, you know. Basically, if they don't deal with this, okay. So do I think I can block with this, you know, just to save myself. So right now, so I can. Here's what I decide what to do. I can take 5 damage right here, and then go to 7, and then the next turn they can play something else with haste and kill me if I decide to go all in. So here I can go all in here and attack and deal 7 damage, and then next turn I can. So if I attack in next turn, I'll be dealing an extra 4. Well, 5 plus 5 plus 12. So that's just barely enough to kill them. So I'm going to play it safe and block with my Demanding Dragon, because I can just play this Volcanic Dragon and give us flying as well. But I'll be... Ooh. That's very good. But I'll be playing my Monster Sword. No need to give this flying right now. I'd rather jump in for the damage right here, just because they need to deal with this or they will lose. Because next turn, if I draw a land, I can just play this and swing in for the win. You know, okay, so that's not too much of a problem for me. This has trample as well. Having double is great. So I'm going to go ahead and play this without paying the 3 because I don't have enough mana. So this will give this flying. This will be exact damage, so they have to block with at least one of the creatures onto the charging monster saw. So I'm going to assign that much damage, and then I can block with the Spark-Tongue Dragon if I wanted to, and next turn if they have something that's threatening to my life total. But I'm at 12 right now, so I don't think there's anything they can do about it. So good game from the opponents, and we'll move on to our next round. Ooh, constructed ranked beginner. So it's important maybe in the later stages of arena, but there's ranks for constructed, for limited as well.
You have enough gold for a booster.
Alright, so they're telling me to
Get one from the store.
go to the store and buy a booster pack right here.
Booster pack, please.
I don't want to actually buy a booster pack right
Go
now,
Get one from the store.
but if I'm not sure if this is part of demonstrations or anything like that.
Let's go get one from the store.
No, I don't want to get one from the store. There are no events right now. It says play. Complete your current quests to access more play modes. So this is the quest, I believe. Yeah. So these are daily, and this is a quest. So I have to deal 10 damage. So I'm not sure how this is at. So I'm gonna keep playing until I don't want to open packs yet, and I'd rather play events and earn packs that way, because you get more value. You know, you punch in 500 gold, you might get back 300 gold and a pack. A pack is 1,000 gold, so that's basically getting back a lot more for your value, basically. And so I'm going to go ahead and keep playing here. Graveyard Bash. Try the mono black, just to get some variety going. And let's see here. We are playing the Argonaut. Was that not our last opponent? Okay, so with the mono black aggro, basically that's basically the same thing. We are a low curve, but it does have a higher curve naturally with how the deck is built or given to us. This I'm not sure. If we don't draw land, then we're screwed. But I think the power level in this hand is really great if we just keep drawing lands. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this, and we're on the play too. So if we manage to draw a third land, we can just run out. Ooh, good. A 2-drop play. That's pretty nice right here. Just to keep us on curve. And when this dies, it creates a 2/2 black zombie. So if that dies, we get to third mana, and then we just play Death Baron, and then we get a 3/3 zombie basically. But they have the Walking Corpse, and of course we don't get another land. We'll go ahead and block with this and get the. Actually, we don't need to block just yet. We can, if they don't play a creature, then we can chip the damage. But right now it looks like that the matchmaking is actually trying to match up the same colors with us, at least so far. You know, I played green, I got matched up with green, we played red. That last round, we got matched up with red. This game, black would match up with black. So it looks like they have the third land first, so they're going to be having a little bit more of an advantage here. So I kind of want to leave up the murder. But actually, I want to save a murder for their own Death Baron if they have it, because obviously I think they do. What I'm going to do though is regain my life back. If they want to play their Death Baron, then that's fine. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to stay back. You know, if I can get the Death Baron now, and they have to double block to kill this, then I get to kill 2 of their creatures. So that's all right. If they have a Gravedigger in hand, they don't have any value to playing it right now, so they might just leave it up. And I'm fine just blocking with Doom Descent at this point, just to get that 2/2 zombie out. They just do decide to attack, and they don't. And so, we draw a second murder. So at this point, I'm going to draw play the Death Baron and play it out. They might have a murder, but I'm going to attack with everything, so that's perfectly fine. If you block the Doomsday Center, will get back a 3/3 zombie, and they decide to double up block at this point. So cool thing here. So normally it would take 4 damage to destroy both of these creatures, but all zombies and skeletons have death touch, except for Death Baron itself. So I get to kill both of them. So that's gonna be pretty good. Anyways, but maybe this is a AI, trying to pretend to be a real player. Just because if it was an actual player, I don't think they would make that block. At least not until other things. But they do get value from that Gravedigger being. So basically, I traded 2 mana and a 3 mana card for a 1 mana card, and that was pretty great. And so I think I'm going to leave up the Flash for the Hired Blade here, and I'm going to. But I mean, what I could do is just to get Gemin for damage just by playing. I think that's gonna be all right. They're tapped out. There's nothing for them to do, and I'm just getting for 5 right here, just to speed up the clocks, because that's what Mono Black aggro is about to be. Like is about. They want to gem in as much damage as they can, and so anything they do to clear their board and keep all the creatures around and just keep gemming in damage, that's gonna get us to the point where they're gonna be low on life, so they have to decide. They have to force them to decide between critical moments to attack with. So right here, I can play Gravedigger. So what I'm going to do, since I actually don't have any zombies now, I'm going to attack with everything, and then play Gravedigger and get back my Death Baron. So I can trade here, and then still have a flyer, and they won't. So combat here, and then attack with everything. They want to trade the Bloodletter for the Death Baron, that's fine. We'll get in for 3 more points of damage. And we'll have a murder for anything they play, since they might be holding up bigger creatures. So we'll play the Gravedigger and get that back to the Death Baron. Right here, because it's just so much more value, once we get more zombies out. Right now we don't have a lot of zombies, so it's kind of unfortunate. But they could have a Vampire Sovereign at this point, but we can murder it and get in for damage. This is 5 damage on the board. It's a pretty big board. So I think that's going to be their play. Play one of these, yeah. And gratefully, I can just murder it. Let's just murder it, and then get in 5 points of damage here. What did they do? Yeah, they just drained us for 3 life. If they have another one, then that's good for them. And then hopefully we draw that and play our own. Let's see here. I would like to just throw down these creatures. Oh, that's really good. Rise from the Grave. So that's going to put a stop to my attacks right here. But I can do is just attack into just feign an attack right here. If they want to block it, then they can, and I'll get a 2/2 zombie, So I think that's not going to. Okay, but I didn't draw a 5th mana, so they have the advantage on life right now if they block. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to. They knew I have the Death Baron, so it'll reveal in their hands. Whenever they look at my hand, they'll see that I have a Death Baron in it. And so I'm going to maybe I could play it out, but I don't want to leave it to die to a removal spell. But this is great, this is great, I think. But this is going to be great if I just leave lead on a zombie. I wish I had another 2-drop so I could play 2 drops. I want to maximize my mana every single turn as an aggro player, so I'm going to go ahead and just play out the Death Bloom ballad, because they don't have any kind of tricks or any to go into combat, so they're going to be on the defensive most likely. I don't think they're going to attack here. but they can actually play out some big things. If I had one more mana, I can play out my Vampire Sovereign as well. The Rise from the Grave was really good for him. Just getting 2 drain triggers off that's swinging 6 points of life, you know, twice. So that's swinging 12 points of life. So that's insane, you know. And like that's gotten back up to 10 life. You know, that's just a lot of value for this one card. They were able to get it back. So basically, what we can do is even the playing field by playing this twice as well. Okay, so they played the instant speed removal at this point. So I'm not going to bother blocking right here, because they've spent all their mana doing that, and I can just draw 1 more mana, go in for the attack right here, damage, and then I'll play my own and drain them. So what they could have done is save that Strangling Spores from me attacking, and then kill something. Well, they would have to block and kill something instead of attacking, and that would have been better for them, because I would have played the Vampire Sovereign, and then if they had saved that and done something else with their turn, like play a blocker for one of these creatures, they would be able to kill this by blocking this right here, and then do other things right now. Yeah, but they didn't, so this is a little bit of an issue for them. So I can attack with all my creatures, and then as long as one of them gets through, they will be dead. Okay, and what's the point of that? This is instant speed, you know. This player could have used Skullduggery to kill one of these creatures that they didn't want to get through, and so I'm going to go ahead and just attack everything. Oh, I mean, I could have played out the Death Baron pre-combat to just pump up this Graph Digger, because it is on zombies, and so we win this match as well, or this game. You know, a match is actually 3 rounds, so but that's in competitive constructed play. So some more increase on our rank. Deal 10 damage. We got there. Earn a new deck tomorrow. What? Okay.
Special events. Each one is different.
Okay, so this is interesting. All play modes, advanced play modes on, so we can do all of these. Welcome Weekend Singleton. Oh, bloody hell. DraftCon 2019. So Sealed Ravnica. So we have to actually have 2,000 gems, and that is unfortunate for us, because we are not going to be buying gems. This whole store things is so awkward for me. 20,000 gems for $100, and that's I mean, you don't actually get that back, you know. Like in MTG, you can actually redeem them for cards eventually if you ever get a full set of things, but it doesn't like yeah, I mean, however, whatever. Okay, I'll do one more game for us. Let's try to finish off this quest here. 20 black or red spells.
You can find events here too.
Let's actually try to build a deck real quick. So let's try to edit this mono red burn right here. And so there's 3 shocks already. We don't have any additional cards right here. Oh geez, we actually have a fairly decent. We have Boros Guild Gates. We have Guild Gates out the wazoo. I like these. Anyways, nah, let's not build a deck just yet. Perhaps I'll do some brewing and then build some decks next week if I have the cards available in here. I will be playing a lot over this weekend, but maybe not because of the pre-release. I will be attending midnight pre-release and probably 1 or 2 more pre-releases over the weekend. Just get some of those cards. Let's actually, yeah, let's finish with Graveyard Bash as well. Perhaps we can get some of that done. Alright, okay, so it is an actual opponent. Okay, Bisharian. And this is an aggressive hand right here. I mean, 1 land less would have been nice just to get these creatures out, but I'll keep this. Alright, so we're on the play, and so we'll just start off with this Diagraph Ghoul. I mean, I mean, that's always solid turn 1 play, and they've got the same thing. Well, at least we have Mana for Murder. So if they happen to play their okay, almost exactly the same hand they have, and that's pretty interesting. That might put a stop in my tracks. But I'm going to go ahead and just go to combat because I'm on the aggression plan. Okay, trade mirror for mirror. All right. I'll just go ahead and play out this guy much bloodletter, and if you have it, then that's great. You know. Oh, he might have a murder play. The damage, and I'll just follow up with that walking corpse. But they've got 6 cards in hands opposed to my 2, so I have to actually play around and kill the biggest creatures. Like, that's actually a problem. Oh my, actually. They might not actually want to block with this because it gains value when it attacks, and so I'm going to jam in for both, and I don't really mind losing that extra 2 damage of life. Especially, so I mean, that might be 4 damage a turn, but I'm actually ahead right now in the race, so I can save this mana to murder something else that I don't want on the battlefield. So yeah, I mean, I might take 2 and then lose another 2, but that's fine. And then if I can get some more mana for this Grave Walker, that's gonna be great. So I mean, if I can start investing, so that's great. They get to get value out of this Grave Digger right here, and I think on the end of turn I'm going to go ahead and murder this Grave Digger, just so we can keep getting back that, just keep racing them, so they'll be forced to block instead of to attack. And that comes in tapped as well, so that's great. Ooh, that's a nice blocker right there. Actually, nice attacker too. I'm going to head and do that, and then play this, just gain a little bit more life. And so, but we're not drawing the mana we need for this Grave Walker. This will be great to play out, because if they haven't seen, oh, that's a problem right there. But luckily we saved this murder for something, and I'm not going to block with my creatures. I can take 3, but I can take also. That's what I'm talking about right there. So I'm going to go ahead and chip in with everything. Actually not. Bloody hell. I've got so many colors calling me. I'm not going to get any damage in with this walking corpse anyway, so I'm going to attack with just these 2 in the air. So next turn, even if they murder one of them, I got another one to kill. To actually kill them. And so at this point I can, if they're definitely not going to attack with the Death Baron, just because I could block it in trade, and they don't want to lose the Death Baron because that's one of their best cards, and they surrender to my, because a lot of Magic is about who goes first basically. If an aggressive deck like Mono Black Aggro is going first, they're most likely going to win, just because they get to put a lot more creatures onto the board really quickly, and then the opponent has to deal with that. And so, so we finished the quest. We gained some extra gold, and let's actually play with a different deck. Let's play with this blue deck right here. Actually, let's play with green. I kind of like green. Playing bigger creatures is really nice. Okay, so you can bluff having to cast a spell by pressing control. Alright, so I think this is a good way to introduce the full control. So what I'm going to do is, alright, so blah blah blah, I have some rep. This is alright, not too bad. Okay, very nice. So I'm going to keep this hand just because I have some rep and it's not too bad. So I'm going to turn on full control enabled. So what I did was press control and shift. If you want to, you can go to gameplay, I believe, and then these are the hotkeys for everything. So disable emotes, blah blah blah, evergreen. So full control, if you can hold control to help get that, but then shift control is to hold it forever, and then I can play that, all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the main phase. So it's going to stop and ask you everything at every single point in time. So I'm just going to play that. See here, it's going to ask us through every single step. And so, but if I just press the pass turn, it's going to disable the full control and pass through everything. But I'm going to just hold this up for the time being. I'll play the Druid of the Cowl. And so I'm going to have to pay these two right here. Ooh, that's neat. That's very, very neat. Okay. So, what happened in the arena before is that if you did full control, you would actually manually have to tap everything. But what that did was pre-tap to see, alright, do you want to pay these colors for this? So we don't have to spend our time tapping everything. So then that little section right here where it showed the green forest cards showed us basically, hey, this is what we think you want to do. Do you want to spend this mana that we tapped automatically to spend for your spell? And so what I'm going to do right here is cast this. So just show you again. I auto tapped 3 mana here, but it hasn't spent it to cast the spell yet. So opponent, so you don't accidentally spend the mana. And this is a good way of controlling on how exactly what kind of mana you want to use. So this is good, you know. This is a plus in the arena. So they're playing blue-black. So they sort of edited one of their decks and added blue to it, but we don't know what the blue splashed for. But I'm excited about the new cards. The surveil mechanics. Oh, this is divination. So nothing from the new set yet. But at least next turn I can play this forest and play down this Gigantosaurus. However, they are black, so they have ways to destroy creatures for very, very, very little cost. And so what we're going to do is keep going to the main phase. Let's go to blocks. Let's go to attacks right here. Blockers. So damage. So they're not going to attack or not and end combat. So there is a specifically end combat step. So we're going to the second main right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So it's saying, hey, do you want to spend these 5 mana to cast Gigantosaurus? So I'm going to do that. You know, just play a big creature. But they have 3 mana, so I have to be wary. They can have a murder in their hand right now. Looks like a blue-black control deck. But while they're playing Digraph Ghoul is interesting. Okay, so there is oh, very nice. So this is one of the new cards for the new set, Etrata the Silencer. It can't be blocked, and then whenever it deals combat damage to a player, exile target creature that player controls and put a hit counter on that card. That player loses the game if they own 3 or more cards with exile. Unfortunately, they can just hit me and exile this Gigantosaurus, so that's very, very unfortunate. End combat, end main, end the turn, my turn. So, what I'm going to do actually is keep going here. So I actually have enough mana now to play both of these cards, but I can also play this Galta since I have a 10/10 power creature yet. So what I'm going to do is actually play this Blanchwood armor on this Druid of the Cowl. This will get +5/+5, and I'm going to spend that 3 mana, yes, and then resolve this. So what I'm going to do is attack through all of this and send everyone in. What I could do is actually use this if they block the Etrata to the Centaur Courser, and then I get it back, basically. And then I draw an extra card. So I'll do the damage right there. But they can only exile 1 creature. So I'm going to end the combat, go to the main phase, and actually play this Galta. So Galta has a special ability where it costs X less with X total power of creatures you control. So it only costs that X less, so it can't really cost less than 2. So I have to actually pay 2 green mana for it. So this is actually, they're in a troublesome spot right here. If they don't have a removal spell for this creature, they're going to be taking lethal next turn. Hopefully I can untap with it and then attack, and then actually use Verdant Rebirth to block one of these, or to target one of my creatures that's about to die, and then basically return it back to the battlefield in combat. So they get to do that for free, and it shuttles back to the library. But they have 5 mana with blue and black, and I have no idea what they're trying to play here. That digraph cool very early on was very unusual, but it did help them survive that swing previous turn. No, you know, in the end, I should have just not swung with my my centaur. It wouldn't have died. Oh wow, a second Etrada. But this one, they have to block one of my creatures. Block both of my creatures, basically. And draw here. Oh, very nice. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep attacking. And they can block each of them. Blockers, blockers, blockers. So yeah, if you do declare attackers, you have to block every single one of them. And I will pass the turn. So they took 6 damage, and so basically they have to kill both of these next turn, because once this hits, it's going to shuffle back in, and they have to have another creature or something kill this. Otherwise, they will be screwed. However, this says once they exile 3 creatures and they with hit counters, I will lose the game. So it can't be blocked anyway, so I'm not really too worried about it. And so I think I'm wanting to play this Verdant Rebirth at the end of turn to draw a card. So it's basically a redraw for 2 if I don't get too much value out of it. And actually, I mean, it could be that. So second main phase, what are they going to do? They're going to draw 2 cards. Oh, very, very, very nice. Very nice. I might actually save this till next turn, so then if they kill it, I actually have something to play next turn. Oh, and they concede. Look at that. 2 colors and we win. So yeah, that's about it for Magic Arena and Open Beta. Just get started. So look, we've won a new pack from Guilds of Ravnica and an extra card. Aegis of Heavens, it's alright. And so let's actually open that pack to see what we got. And one click here, looks like it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards right here. So we get Demir Gilgate, Witchpoint Crab, Short Strike. Reprint right here. I like this, you know, you can play it in green or white. It has Vigilance just like that Sentinel one. So this is basically strictly better than the other one if you're not playing elves. Greenwood Sentinel, that's the other one. This is pretty good and limited here. When Vigor Sporeworm enters the battlefield, target creature gains Vigilance and X plus X or X number of creature cards in the graveyard. And can't be blocked by more than one creature is very, very key for this creature. Alright, uncommon here. Whenever Hellkite Whelp attacks, it deals 1 damage to target creature, defending player controls. That's good. And then Inescapable Blaze. 6 damage to any target, that's really good and limited. It's a finisher, it's a kill a creature basically. And let's see. Oh, okay, Dawn of Hope. That's a really good rare right there. So my plan with this is to play some sort of blue-white life gain with this here, and then play Divine Visitation, which is one of the new cards that comes out as well. And that card is an enchantment that says, whenever a creature token would enter the battlefield under your control, instead put a 4/4 flying angel with vigilance on the battlefield. And so with this Dawn of Hope enchantment, and you can just spit out 1/1 soldiers for 4 mana. However, you just basically spit out 4/4 angels for 4 mana. So that's gonna be good. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little preview for the start of the MTG Arena open beta. Hopefully you guys get into it and have a lot of fun grinding your cards. And so see you guys next time. Bye.